Well, good evening everybody, my name is Oats, and tonight we are once again playing Farm Sim 19 Seasons on the Old Stream Farm. It is late spring and we need to get some seed in the ground even though it's raining. So we will get on with that right now. Fill the seeds up. Stick the tractor up with this. There we go. We'll fill the hopper up with seeds before we leave. What's interesting is that wheat or weeds? That's probably wheat. Weeds aren't that prolific. Okay, that's the seed bucket topped up. Bad. Got the top two fields and put in some oats. So we've got wheat. Oats selected. Jump out and just check the moisture. Okay, 14%. We are good to plant. In spite of the weather. Okay. Now I'm planning to put oats in this field and the one just to the west of us. Once that's all done, we will plant barley between these fields and the one that already has the wheat in it. Then looks like there's some other stuff to do. I'm planning to plant the canola and the oats tomorrow. We'll have to cultivate the oat field. Sorry, the soybeans. Today we are preempting that for day 5 seasons in Old Stream Farm. It has been a while since I've done any truck sim, but I'd like to get most of the spring done before the end of the week, and then we'll be into summer. And we'll probably slow down next week and get back into the normal run of the mill. And welcome to the Stream Hail team. also considering once the kids are gone, the stream may change, schedule may change again. And good evening, Bin Pin. How's things going? Turned around my fortunes this morning in World of Warships, having pretty much pulled losing teams for the last few days. I've finished the Directive 2 battleships experience mission, so I've moved on to destroyers. I took out the Jutland, or as the Germans would call it, the Jutland, and totally kicked butt and won 3 games in a row. One of them was a little bit difficult, but all in all, a good showing. Oh, working through the Colorado. It's kind of a tough ship because it is a bit slow, but it does kick butt with those heavy guns. Not as many as the New Mexico has, but you can make a mess of stuff. And then once you get to tier 8, they really speed up, which is nice. North Carolina's a good ship. Iowa's a nice ship. Montana is a dangerous ship because it has 12 16-inch guns. If you give perfect broadside to someone, it will get its butt kicked, but those 12 guns and the accuracy you can get out of them, ooh. And you really can't go too wrong with American battleships. And the other reason we're doing a lot of seasons of the old stream farm this week is because it's something that's new. It's a big game changer for farm sim. it rewrites a lot of the base game rules. So there's a lot of new stuff to learn. And people who want to know about seasons, it's going to help them, I hope. Change the time lapse again. So I think the size of the fields we do have 7, so that's quite a lot of fields to work. However, they're all very small. So the running time at ×5 seems to be just about adequate to get all the tasks done that you need done in a couple of days. So it's not like I'm ploughing every field, seeding every field in one day, which is obviously what you try and do in the base game. Because any time you don't have seed in the ground, you're not making money. But with this one, yeah, I mean, basically Seasons forces you to take your time. You can't grow 2 crops a year in one field. So, yeah, you're going to have to plan things carefully. Plan to make the most of what you've got. Obviously, we discovered with the oilseed radish, germination failure is a thing and will adversely affect your income. The other thing I'm not surprised about is, yeah, we've got the first 12 days of play. We are not going to make any money. And we are losing a lot of money right now. Big question is going to be, once we start the harvest, do we pull in enough money to actually make the farm profitable? Obviously next year we're not going to have the vehicle purchases. We're still potentially going to have leases for any repeating costs. We own the seeder, we own the sprayer, we own the tractor. So all those tools are ours and we're not going to have to buy them again next year. We are going to have to buy seed, we're going to have to buy fertilizer. But what we need to make sure is our harvest income exceeds our general outgo. I've got to put the time lapse up to 5. When we started, it's now right. hopefully it should be about lunchtime by the time we finish planting the oats, I think. I hope. It's kind of handy. Looks like we're going to make this, so we're back down to that central pathway. Steady. So I'm going to say it's going to be a bad idea to fertilise while it's raining. So we'll have to delay the fertilisation till tomorrow. Oats in this field too. I can't see where I'm going. There we go. And I am going to run round this west side of the field so that it keeps us away from the road again. That may be true, God of Thunder, but I'm going to try and hold off fertilising while the rain is falling out of the sky. I think if you read the side of the box, it suggests you don't spray fertiliser while it's raining. Now, it doesn't matter if the crops are wet or the ground is wet. What matters is the rain is falling, and potentially you're going to lose a lot of your fertiliser as the rain could wash it away. Now if I had an injector, that would be a completely different matter. Running over this with a slurry tank with an injector, that puts the fertiliser directly in the soil, so the water's not going to wash it away. However, I believe these once again, these fields were fallow, haven't had anything planted in them for 2 years, so they are quite nutrient enriched. So because of that, we should currently already have one free level of fertilisation. The big question is going to be that's the field we put the oilseed radish in. Is that going to have a free level of fertilisation from it being fallow for 2 years, plus another one for the oilseed radish do we just get the one for the oilseed radish? Which is one of these learn as you go things. But it would mean that we only need 2 layers of fertilisation through the rest of the year. But we should have ample time to do that. I mean, that is one of the things you want to watch, is to very carefully pick how many days the season is going to be. I think the season's team recommends 9. My feeling is, at least for this farm, it's so small that a 6-day season on a ×5 runtime. Yeah, I'm having to work to get the fields done as I need them done, but I still have a little bit of free time in which I can do contracts if I want to. I can't do, I couldn't do a contract on every single field every single day. I can certainly do a few contracts on a few fields. And so far we've been offered enough contracts to basically cover any free time we have in a given day. So it's not that bad so far. I mean, with Lawfolds has big fields. It's a big farm, and so I do have a problem with keeping up. I'm running real time on 6-day seasons on that one, but that's because the farm is that much bigger, and I have to employ workers because I could not do all of the work myself. Back when I started that map, first year I was not using workers because there really wasn't enough time or enough money to justify using them. And it was only once I got to harvest that I said, okay, I'm going to need to get some workers in, because somebody's got to run the harvester while I'm shuttling grains off to the silos. And since a worker can't shuttle grain, I had to do that. Now that was okay, because I justified that by I'm paying a worker to do something that directly affects income almost immediately. I left that a little bit too wide. But I could have ended up with, I'm not going to pay a worker to seed if I don't have to, because that's not directly making me money almost immediately. I used workers for silage because grass rots, so I want that stuff wrapped as soon as is humanly possible, and obviously if I'm doing that, then I need 2-3 tractors running in a train, getting those bales wrapped as soon as is humanly possible. And that does affect income to a certain extent. But after about the second year, once I could afford to purchase a harvester on Lawfolds, the money was coming in so fast that I didn't have to justify using money on a contractor, on a helper. Because I had it in the budget to be able to hire someone. I do not know what my long-term map is going to be. Obviously, I'm kind of... this... With Seasons 19, maps do not have to be prepared for Seasons. There is no bale rotting, obviously. Which was a thing in 17 as well, so you kind of honour that mechanic by saying I'm always going to store bales in a barn. Because they should rot, even if they don't, because the rule's not in place. But there is the whole... you look at my Lawfolds playthrough, and all of the barns have snow in them, and all of the everything has snow in it, and I can't get around that because there's no snow mask on the map. Now in Seasons 19 they provided a basic alternative to the snow mask, which is the sort of tip collision point, so you can't dump grain in the road. And so what Seasons 19 does is it says, well, in that case, since you can't dump grain in the road, I'm not going to dump snow in the road. So we have the local councillors clearing the roads. And anywhere that you can't dump stuff, it becomes eligible for no snow. In addition, all of the standard buildings in the game. So, where is it? These 3 sheds, they have a built-in snow mask. And they have to do that because otherwise, because we now have the freedom to place sheds, the sheds need to include their own snow mask so that Seasons won't snow inside the shed. And technically, once there is a snow mask on the entire map, those sheds will also become something of a protected area for bales. But we didn't have that in 17 because there weren't placeable buildings. So you had to have the snow mask for it to work properly. Now I've been making the compromise because my 17 map wasn't Seasons ready, doesn't have a snow mask. So the compromises are in the game already for that. But there are people putting in their Seasons ready mod maps that we already have access to. So what is it? Old Oak, I believe, is in. Mercury will probably be in some time. The problem is we're now up to the testing window is now 9 days. 9 business days. So anything that was submitted today ain't going to be through testing until 14th of August. So if Oxygen David got Oakfield Farm in last week on Thursday, we're still not going to get it until Monday or Tuesday next week. And I want to wait until we've got a nice big map, and I will do a big map under Seasons because Seasons is not a great rush to get things done. It's not like regular farm sim play. plant a field, fertilise a field, fertilise the field again, harvest it, and then plant it as soon as you possibly can. You find that you're working very fast. There's no time to take a breather. But with seasons, there's always time to take a breather, because once I've planted these fields, I've got to fertilise them. It's only going to take me about 30 minutes to fertilise 7 fields, and so I really don't have to worry about. I come in tomorrow, okay, 30 minutes to fertilise all the fields. Now I don't have to fertilise the fields for another 3 days. So I've got to find something else to do for the next 2. Harvest time is a rush, especially if the weather's bad or forecast to be bad. And planting time is rough, because you've got a limited window to do that. But the rest of the year, summer and winter, that's the time you can do other stuff. And you can always pick a longer season. So, if you pick a big map, you can do 9-day seasons or 12-day seasons. So it might take me, what am I doing? On a times 5 play speed, it may take me an hour to plant a large field, and that hour is half a day. So I can plant 2 large fields, and if I've got a farm that has 6 large fields, I'm going to need 3 days to do that in. So maybe 6-day seasons, maybe 9-day seasons, so that there's always room for disaster. But the downside is seasons play is always going to be a little bit monotonous, because we're always going to be doing the same thing. I mean, today we are going to be planting fields pretty much all day. I may go and do some contracts to break up the monotony, but those contracts are probably also going to be planting. It's like day 1 and 2 was solid ploughing all day, every day. But I'm never going to have to do that again. The only fields I'm going to have to plough are ones I buy and ones I plant corn on. And I can plough one field in, half an hour, 45 minutes, because they're not big fields. Here we'll get out, take a look at the field and see what everything looks like. Okay, my experience so far with loose grass, hay and straw. Grass will always decay, whether it is in loose form or whether it is in bale form, unless it is in a wrapped bale, in which case the grass will remain grass for a season's transition, so early spring through mid-spring. Basically, the way I'm playing it with 6-day seasons, it's 2 days per transition, so 48 game hours. Wrapped grass remains grass that is not decaying, and then at the 48th hour it turns into silage because it's wrapped. Hay and straw can sit out on a field for as long as you like. As soon as it rains, it will disappear progressively. If you bale it up, it will not disappear. I'm talking there if the map's not seasons prepared. If the map is seasons prepared, then I believe you can move hay and straw into a shelter and empty it loose, and it will not decay. If you bale it, you still must put it into a shelter or it will decay. If you bale it and leave it out in a field on a map that is prepared for seasons, the bales will decay. I mean, I've seen it happen where on law folds I use oats. So I did get a layer of fertilisation on this field. Step through. So planted. Be a while before we find out if it's germinated, but you'll see these fields are fertilised to one stage because the fields were previously fallow. Okay, so getting back to grass and hay and straw. On law folds, I was feeding the cows while it was raining.